Welcome to my Thrive Through the Season class. I'm excited to have you here. I'm going to be offering some tips over the next little while for staying healthy and happy over the holidays. And the impetus for this class is really because I used to let the holidays really sideline my health and my health goals and realize that we don't have to do that. So many of us just we're so busy with family, with friends, with shopping that we're staying up late, wrapping gifts. We are seeing people that our health goals just go out the window. And I believe that after years of being able to just maintain my health and my sanity over the holidays, that I wanted to share some of these tips with you. So, just quickly, let me just tell you really a little bit about who I am. So, my name is Britta Nelson. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I have a black lab whom I adore, and I get out into the hills, not wearing a Santa cap, but decided to add that special flair. I'm a certified health coach through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I'm a certified Vinyasa and Kundalini yoga instructor. I really subscribe to the tenets of intuitive mindful eating. I do not believe in going on weight loss health diets. I believe that intuitive and mindful eating actually bring us to greater health, which can include weight loss more than strict dieting. I really do believe in whole plant-based, nutrient-dense foods as a predominant way of eating to help us with our sugar cravings, to help us just obviously feel better. But I am also a food opportunarian. So, for example, I was sugar-free for 4.5 years from refined sugar to recalibrate my relationship to food and to sugar. But then I was going to Croatia and Italy, and I'll be damned, I was going to eat gelato when I was there. And I was able to really see that, um, there are times that we need to change diets, not eat certain foods to help us. But then I also am a big believer that where there's gelato, where there is your Christmas favorite treat, that we can eat that and not have our health go out the window. And then I do have a sustainable relationship to sugar. And I just emphasize that just because I was off of sugar for 4.5 years. I utilized a 12-step program to help me redefine my relationship to food. I read a ton of books, and I just have my own personal journey of 25 years of recreating a healthy relationship to food, which is why I am here just to share some tips. All right. Richard Rohr, he's an author, Christian author actually, not always my typical style of book, but he writes in his book, Falling Upward, we were meant to thrive and not just to survive. And that is why the title of this book or this class is about just thriving, not just getting through the holidays, but actually succeeding. It's a time when family and friends and magic are around, but we are also, full of stress and anxiety about getting ready for the holidays. That can lead to a lot of mindless eating. We have a lot of emotions that can come up depending on our relationship with our family and friends. Um, Money and being able to purchase gifts can become anxiety inducing. And then we are bombarded daily with jars of candy, people dropping off cookies, things that we might not always be, having to face so regularly. And I believe that we really can thrive through the season and not just get through it. So, what I like to do really quickly with any of my classes is let us tune in. We are going to start with just a few minutes of belly breathing. So, what I'd like you to do is take your hands and place them on your belly, fingertips touching, middle fingers touching. And I'd like you to breathe deeply into your tummy like big Buddha belly, so strong that your two fingers separate. And then when you breathe out, your belly button is going to come to your spine. Your two fingers are going to come back together. When we breathe into our belly, we are really reaping the benefits of breath. It's diaphragmatic breathing, and it is the one that's going to bring us into a calmer state more quickly. It's going to engage our parasympathetic nervous system and help us relax. So go ahead and close your eyes or look down gently at the floor And we are going to do a 4-6 count breathing. Longer exhales are going to calm us down more quickly as well. So take a deep breath in to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fingers coming together. Breath in. 2, 3, 4. Breath out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 counts in at your pace. 6 counts out your pace. Go ahead and take 3 more deep breaths like this. Fingers separating as you breathe deeply into your belly. Tips of your middle fingers coming back together when you breathe out. When you've finished those breaths, I want you to open your eyes slowly to the sparkle of the holiday season. Deep belly breathing regularly, daily, is what I'm going to encourage you to do, preferably in the morning. 5 breaths in at least. I recommend 10 to 20 minutes of this type of breathing. And then anytime you're at a store and you don't have to put your hands on your belly. Just take 4 counts in, 6 counts out. If you're at the stoplight, anytime you're feeling stressed over the holiday, just tune in quickly, and I promise you're going to feel less overwhelmed. The Buddha said, "Your body is precious. It is our vehicle for awakening. Treat it with care." I truly do believe that if we cherish our bodies and allow ourselves to drop into a journey with them and recognize that our bodies are going to teach us wisdom about what we need far more than a book, far more than I can even share. Um, there's so many beautiful resources out there. Your body is the number one resource. So I want you to just ask yourself, when you are eating certain foods, let's just say you've eaten a whole chocolate pound cake that a friend brought to you. Are you aware of what it feels like in your body after you've eaten something like that, how it feels versus how it feels if you've just had a big salad? I want you to start experimenting with yourself and feeling what your body tells you. I commonly find with clients and in classes that when we are feeding our body healthier things like salad, when we are sleeping the proper amount, when we're taking quiet time for ourselves, our bodies are going to feel more energized. Our moods are going to feel more stable, so we're not as reactive to people and situations. We will feel more capable in our day. We will feel like we have done something that is actually life affirming. When we eat too much of something that's not great for us, when we're not getting sleep, when we're constantly moving from state to stress state, we're going to feel more depleted of energy. Often we will feel more reactive to people. Our temperatures are going to flare more quickly. We are just not going to feel like we're in this vibrant state. And so just trust your body is this vehicle that can teach you. And every day, every moment, we have a chance to listen to that message and to create a new choice. And so we have between now and the end of the year, 6 weeks. I think we're now at 42 days and countless opportunities to just learn about our bodies, make new choices, and try to keep ourselves in that state of life affirming, life giving, healthy decisions. So, the first thing that I want you to do as you're thinking about keeping your health through the holiday season is ponder your mindset. What are your intentions? What would you like to get out of the holiday? Do you want to not gain weight? You want to maintain weight? You want to be able to eat some good foods that are yummy and part of the season, but not overeat them. You'd like to feel a little bit more energized, a little bit more calm and relaxed. Take a moment to think about how you want to feel through the holidays and how you want to feel when your alarm goes off or when you wake up. Hopefully, you don't even need an alarm on the 1st of January. Sleep in. But I want you to think about, how do you want to feel? Um, Overall, do you want to feel like, you know what, I got through that holiday season without overeating, but I feel like I enjoyed family, friends. I was able to eat some of the family traditions, the cookies that people brought me. I was able to prepare cookies for people and not overeat the dough in the process. But you didn't overeat. My real thing is that we are creating a way of life, not just a diet, not just a restriction, but we're creating a way of life that is sustainable and life-giving. So my encouragement is, don't focus on the scale at all. Focus on how your body feels over the holiday season. Revisit your intentions regularly about maintaining health and wellness throughout the holiday season, and then practice self love, patience, and acceptance. We get no benefits when we beat ourselves up with the food police by saying we ate the wrong thing or we ate too much. We didn't keep all of our goals. Focus on trying to be healthy without judging yourself and having guilt and shame the way that you embrace this season. It's a tough season. So I want you to just enjoy yourself in the process. And let's just talk about what you do. Let's create a plan. Once you know what some of your intentions are, I want you to regularly be looking at your week, your day, and your meals, and thinking of your food choices and your health on a complete continuum and a balance. Seek balance, don't overthink it. So look ahead at your week, each week, and think about, what events do you have coming up. If you have 5 events that week where you're going to be out and there's going to be dessert spreads and cheese spreads, you're going to have to be thinking a little bit more about what your day to day and your meals are going to be like when you're not at that event. So be thinking ahead at where you're going to be entering the lion's den, and when are you going to make treats for others? When are you going to be at events where people bring you treats? And your biggest thing is ensuring that you have healthy foods accessible to you at all times. So go grocery shopping at the beginning of the week. Make sure you have lots of healthy foods in your home that are accessible. Make salads and put them into Tupperwares so that you can just grab that salad when you need to, or having chopped fruits and veggies in bags. Trail mix that's yummy. I want trail mix that has a little bit of dark chocolate in it. Trader Joe's has a great one that has cashews and almonds, dark chocolate, so that I'm not ever feeling like I'm in this Last Supper mindset and saying, I haven't eaten all day because I know I have this event at night and I want to starve myself during the day. That's never going to help us, because we're going to inevitably, that Last Supper, pig out at that party, and we're going to end up feeling yucky. So make sure that you have lots of healthy foods in your house accessible. Then look ahead and plan your day. So I encourage you to start each day with a healthy decision that affirms your intentions. So an example of this would be waking up, and before you have your coffee, which I love my coffee, you are going to have a big tall glass of water and squeeze a fresh lemon into it. So you're having fresh lemon juice. That's going to it has a lot of benefits. You can look it up. We don't have time to look into all of it, but it's immune boosting, it's cleansing, it balances your pH levels in the morning. It's your first thing in the day that says, I'm going to, even if it's just a glass of water, I'm going to have a big glass of water when I wake up, because I'm going to tell myself, I'm going to be healthy today. I'm going to make healthy choices. Then I want you to think through your plan to have one nutrient dense meal a day. And we're going to dive into this, but you're going to make sure that you either have a smoothie in the morning, a salad during the day, that you are making sure you have one strong meal. And then I want you to think about how and when indulgent foods are going to show up during the day. So knowing that you've got something at night, if you've eaten your meal at noon that's nutrient dense and you want to go for something sweet, I want you to start thinking about, okay, but I know that tonight I'm going to have something really yummy tonight. Do I really need that food to right now after my lunch that's going to be high sugar or high fat? So you're balancing out. I want you to plan your meals so that you're aiming for balance on your plate, so that you are keeping your body fueled and hydrated. So we're never going to be able to resist cravings and eating too much sugar or fat if we are not giving ourselves good nutrients during other meals during the day, and especially with hydration. Lots of water during the day. We want to keep ourselves out of Last Supper mode. And then, whatever it is that you choose to eat in your regular day, eat it and release it. Once it's done, it's over. All you need to really do is check in, ask yourself, how do I feel? Do I feel energized or do I feel depleted? Am I feeling like I need more of something that is tempting and sugary and fatty because I didn't eat the balanced meal? And then you just get to let that meal go, move forward, and give yourself a new opportunity to decide how you want to eat. So your big thing is keep a gentle finger on the pulse of your balance of nutrient dense foods and more energy dense that aren't, like candy, like cakes that are have lots of energy, meaning lots of calories, but aren't giving you a lot of energy. And just be kind of keeping a finger on the pulse, not making yourself crazy, but have a plan. All right, another great thing for the holiday season, don't focus on what you can take away and should be taking away. Too often, if we focus on our good foods and our bad foods, we are going to get scarcity mentality and we're going to pig out on the bad foods. Instead, build in, have your normal meals through the holiday, but think about what you can add to your plate. So add spinach, add broccoli, add leafy greens, um, have a piece of fruit instead of taking away a piece of cake. So be thinking about crowding out foods that are more energy dense but not nutrient dense, but not taking them away. The more that you have this focus, the less you're going to be in diet mentality. And then start early by eating and drinking things that are better for you earlier in the day to leave less room and desire for unhealthy choices later on. So Joshua Rosenthal, the founder of Institute of Integrative Nutrition, said, if you fill your body with healthy, nutrient-dense foods, it is only natural that cravings for unhealthy foods will lessen substantially. It's a fact. You just cannot be adding extra healthy foods without starting to get full. And then when you have that nutrient dense meal, it actually is going to create an environment of health in your body so that some of those cravings are going to actually subside. You've got to trust this. More nutrient dense helps cravings go away. If you give yourself some of the cravings you want, you're not going to be in a scarcity mindset. And so it's going to really start to balance out over the season. So nutrient dense meals, high vitamins, high minerals, nutrients, not tons of saturated fats, added sugars, and sodium. They're more real and more unprocessed. If you promise yourself at least one nutrient dense meal a day during the holidays, I promise you are going to feel so much better each day. And you're going to have less cravings and you're going to not eat as much. So, salads packed with leafy greens, kale, collards, spinach, arugula, lots of cruciferous veggies, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, peppers, asparagus, lentils, salmon, eggs, black beans, edamame, lean meats. So, what I like to do is have a Tupperware. I've chopped all of this up. Don't add dressing to the salad. You do that as you go. So you have a big Tupperware of this already prepared in your kitchen. It's 12 o'clock. You're starting to feel hunger. Go upstairs or have a bag with you in your car in a bag And then you can add, don't get all super weird about what dressings you're adding. Keep in mind, a lot of dressings have a lot of sugar. So if you do want to be aware of how much sugar, look at the ingredients on those dressings. Any ingredients, the FDA requires ingredients to be in the order of how much is actually in that product. So take a look. If sugar is at the top, that means the predominant ingredient in that dressing is sugar. If you want to start balancing out, start looking at ingredients of things that third, fourth, fifth, sixth ingredient down is the less healthy, the sugars. And just kind of know that that's how labels are. And so if you want to start being aware, add, olive oil, some vinegar. That can provide, if you have a good olive oil, that provides enough flavor just even in and of itself. Some salt, some pepper. I like kosher salt because it gives more texture. So you can do a salad. You can do a smoothie each morning that has tons of leafy greens, berries. Things like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries are lower on the glycemic index so that you're not going to be adding a lot of sugar to your smoothie as well. Add some nut butters, some flax and chia seeds, yogurt. I do a protein powder that's a Vega. It's plant-based, has greens in it as well. You can blend with nut milks that don't have sugar in them. I recommend not using juices as a base. Use water if you don't have anything, if you don't have a nut milk. And then carry raw veggies, apples, pumpkins, sunflower seeds, almonds. I have a shopping list. If you want to ping me at britta.nelsonwellness@gmail.com, I can send you a shopping list. But you want to have snacks that are yummy with you. Keep those going. Just eat, fill yourself up. Have your celery each day with almond butter on it. Keep the healthy foods coming. You can add in more healthy food to, if you're going to have a sandwich, just add a ton of spinach to it. So keep those nutrient dense meals coming throughout the day. And then you're going to crowd out. You're going to crowd out the lesser healthy foods, less life affirming foods. Okay, so um, primary needs. Lucy from Snoopy says, all I really need is love, but a little chocolate now and then doesn't hurt. So there's a concept about primary and secondary foods that I want to just briefly tell you about. We have innate primary needs. Abraham Maslow talks about it. I mean, it's a little bit different hierarchy of needs. But if we are making sure that we're taking care of ourselves on a regular basis, we're giving ourselves quiet time, we're taking time to breathe, we're taking time to connect with our friends, with our family, the family and friends that give us joy. If we are doing work that is meaningful for us, if we're reading books that are meaningful to us or listening to podcasts that uplift us, if we're doing more of the life affirming things, that's primary food. We got to get those needs met. Our food, the actual food we eat, is secondary to these primary needs. If we are not filling primary needs, we're going to keep reaching for food to fulfill us, and it never will. So I want you to stop and think about what emotions are going on when you find yourself reaching for food. If you are feeling physical pain, or you have stress, or you're lonely, or you're bored, you just don't know what to do with yourself, those are the times that we reach for food. And we've got to stop and ask ourselves, am I actually feeling the need for food? Is there hunger, a biological hunger going on in my belly that it's time to eat? Or am I just eating to kind of fill a hole? If we can start discerning what our true hunger is, grumbling in the tummy, ask yourself, when was the last time I ate? If it was 20 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago, you're probably not actually hungry. There's actually another hunger that's going on that you need to fill. Start finding out what those needs are and asking yourself, especially over the holiday. And I'm going to give you an acronym here. It's called HALT. Um, if you are ready to grab for an alcoholic beverage or a sweet treat or a salty treat, first ask yourself, am I hungry? Am I really hungry? Do I feel that? Or am I angry? Or am I lonely or tired? I also say, are you dehydrated? Are you exhausted? If you are not, if you are feeling true hunger, then eat something. And I would say a nutrient dense food first. If not, you're going to need to find what those cues are, and you're going to need to fill that need. So I would really suggest that if you need to, sit down in a chair or lay down on your bed, and for 5 minutes, do those deep breaths that I taught you about. 4 breaths in, 4 counts in, 6 counts out. Give yourself that time. Drink a big glass of water. Call a friend. Get out and go and take a quick walk around your neighborhood. Walk around your house. Decide first, is this what I'm really looking for? Another kind of quick and interesting thing with breath is that when we are eating, the more that we breathe, the more we increase our metabolic rate. And it also gives us a chance to pause and say, am I really needing to eat more right now? So I encourage you during your meal to stop partway through. Nobody has to know this, but stop, pause, take a couple deep breaths in. If you think about a fire in an oven, like in a you know, wood is all in an oven. I'm blanking on what this kind of oven is. Wood burning stove. If you've packed it so dense with wood and paper to make it go, it won't burn. It actually needs oxygen to burn. Think about if you're packing your stomach so full of food and you're not taking time to breathe, calm down, and relax, your digestion and assimilation of your nutrients is not going to be at its optimum. So, not only will it help you stop and think about if you want to keep taking another bite, but it's going to help your actual digestion if you stop and pause and take some deep breaths in. In the 12-step programs, they also say think through the drink in an AA program. I like to say in this instance, and I learned this, think through the bite. Pause for a moment and think through, what is your body going to feel like after you take this bite or eat this item? Just take a second and think, okay, I've been here before. I've eaten a whole bag of peanut M&Ms before. When I eat this, how am I going to feel after it? I think a good handful of peanut M&Ms works for me when I'm out running errands and it's the only thing at the grocery store and I haven't brought a snack. You're assessing, how does this feel? Is this food that's going to set off cravings for the rest of the day? Truly, if you decide to eat that item and it's high sugar, high fat, flours, it will create a series of cravings through the rest of the day. Do you want to be feeling those cravings, or is it going to send you into sugar shock and brain fog? So just halt for a second, ask yourself what you really need. If you don't really need food, fulfill what that real need is. Take some breaths during your food or while you're making this decision and think through the bite. Hopefully that gives you some moments to step away from that immediate desire to overeat, to indulge in something that maybe isn't going to be as life affirming and set you into a good feeling in your body. Remember, you think energized, think non-reactive, more peaceful, more calm. When we eat well, our brain doesn't kick in as well and start beating itself up and saying, I shouldn't have eaten that. Remember, no food is morally good or bad. So if you eat something, just get that food police out of your mind. And, if you do make that decision, we're going to talk about recalibrating now. Okay, so Evelyn Treble and Elise Rush in their book Intuitive Eating, I'm looking at my bookshelf over here, phenomenal book. It says it's time to empower our autonomy and bring the joy back into eating. while overcoming fear mongering and worry. This does not have to be, there are far bigger problems in this world than what it is that we're eating. So trust yourself. You've got this. Empower yourself to halt, to breathe, to think through the bite. Like you've got this. Okay. And another important concept as we go through all of this is pleasure is important for us. It actually, Mark David, he's the founder of the Institute of the Psychology of Eating. He says pleasure is an actual requirement in the nutritive process. Our brain and digestive system are scanning each eating experience to see if we've reached the requisite level of pleasure. If not, we will still feel hungry. We are pleasure seeking machines. Literally, our brain or chemistry, dopamine, serotonin is going to be kicking in, and it's looking at situations and saying, ooh, we like that. Throw out the dopamine to remind us, ooh, let's do this again. If I remember one day making an asparagus smoothie, thinking that I was making this amazing cleansing smoothie for myself. It was the grossest thing I've ever tasted in my life. I almost threw up while I was driving to work and drinking it, which, by the way, that is not presence. I was driving to work and eating. Um, but I remember feeling disgusting. Not only is that going to leave me not feeling satiated and full and happy about my eating experience, it's actually going to affect negatively how much my body assimilates those nutrients. There is an actual block in assimilation of nutrients when we aren't enjoying our food. So there is no point in letting food and our eating experience be a miserable thing, especially when there's so many ways to eat well and eat healthy, but also taste it and enjoy it. So when we are having pleasure in our body, inflammatory stress hormones go down. So in our fight or flight, our cortisol is going to increase and kick our body into fight or flight, which is going to prevent good optimal digestion. It's not going to let us feel full and satiated. So when we slow down, when we breathe, our stress hormones go down, immune boosting chemicals increase. All of our feel good neurotransmitters in our gut and in our head are going to kick in, and we're going to feel satiated. Um, so my big thing for you through the holidays, when we are either mindless eating because we're coping with emotions going on, or food is just in front of us, um, be present. Eat slowly, take breaths, and relax. I also, I want you to stop and look at how you are pairing foods. So lately, I've been pretty stressed with some work stuff going on, and I'm finding myself sit down in front of my new favorite Hulu show, Homeland, and I am bringing chocolate and sitting and watching TV. Um, I'm not really being present for the chocolate. I am numbing out by watching too many episodes of a show. So what I'm really trying to do is I'm experimenting, and this is where it's fun to kind of experiment is, and you don't need to overthink it, but I'm taking, okay, if I'm going to eat, let's say I'm going to eat a cup or a half a cup of chocolate chips, or maybe I overeat. So I am going to just take a half a cup or a cup of chocolate, and I'm going to bring it over, and I'm going to just eat that amount. And that is what I've given myself. I'm not deprived. I'm still getting the chocolate, still watching my show. Or I'm going to, another experiment you can do is, what if I were to eat my meal, eat my chocolate, then watch TV? So you stop pairing some of these things. It's all about experimenting. Whatever you're doing, try to be present, breathe, relax, slow down. And then you're going to hit that sweet spot where your body is satiated, it's full, and you can then move on and do your next thing. Otherwise, you're just going to still be feeling hungry. Okay, recalibration. You have just been at a party and you have eaten so much sugar. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you at a work party, you've got the rest of the day, and blood sugars are crashing, you feel terrible, you're feeling brain fog. What can you do? Couple recommendations. Have a spoonful of nut butter on a piece of apple, half of an apple. Um, Add some sweet spices like cinnamon and clove powder on that nut butter, and it actually can help balance your sugar levels. Have a handful of nuts. You could pause and take a walk or the stairs, or if you're running errands, park further away from the store that you need to go to and walk. As soon as we start getting those endorphins flowing and our oxygen moving through our body, you're going to start to feel blood sugars stabilize, brain fog is going to lift. Have a big glass of water or hot water with squeezed lemon. I'm always going to recommend that. I just think squeezed lemon is great. Of course, not too many. Um, you don't want to melt your teeth off with too much lemon, but a squeezed lemon, a half a lemon, a big cup of tea. Ideally, you're not going to go for caffeine in one of these situations because that's just going to keep the roller coaster going. And what you're trying to do is stabilize. Plan your next meal with high protein and fats. Avocado, you could do a salmon, you can do chicken. If you're not eating meat, do beans, um, you eggs. You want to just get some proteins and fats into your body as quickly as possible. And it's okay if you've just eaten something and you think, now I need to starve myself. That's the worst way to go. Go ahead and have something with high fat protein, but that's nutrient dense. Um, and then call a friend. Go do something different. Read some of a book that you're excited about. Um, Write in your journal. Do something that gets your brain off of the fact that you've just eaten and trust that you can make a new decision again. Okay, some tips for thriving through the season that I think are going to also help with sanity. Create a holiday hideaway. So create a place in your house where you can light a candle. You have a cozy blanket. You can go even if it's for 5 minutes of just sitting there and having some quiet time. Room, a garden, and then a couple other great options. Your shower. Take advantage of your showers where you're just breathing and you're thinking about your health and your intentions. Use your car rides to think about it. For optimum energy levels, you want as good a sleep as possible as you can through the holidays. Not a good time to deprive yourself of sleep. If you are deprived of sleep, there's the hormone that stimulates the appetite to increase goes up. So you're going to have a hormone in your body that makes your appetite increase, and the hormone that makes your appetite decrease, that suppresses it, goes down. So basically, you're not only tired, but you've got your hormones. I mean, think about when you've had a terrible night's sleep, you wake up. Don't you want to grab for as much food as possible? So try to keep your sleep good. If you're balancing your proteins and your fats, that's going to help you a lot too. That said, if you can wake up an hour, half an hour early before the hustle and the bustle of the day begins, don't touch your phone unless you're turning on an application for meditation or breath work or beautiful music. Don't look at your email for a half an hour to an hour into your day. Do some breath work, journal, move your body gently. You can do a yoga class. You can just do some downward dogs, read a good book. Just do something to give yourself your own quiet time. And the reason why this is valuable is if you've created your own little holiday hideaway spot and you wake up a little bit early, and you have your glass of water with lemon, you are affirming out of the gate that this is your day. This is your life, and you are making healthy, life affirming choices right out of the gate. Then I encourage you to move each day. Um, a walk, some yoga, some stretches, do some squats. Get out of bed. I remember I went through a season where I was getting out of bed, and the first thing I did was a minute of squats. So it was literally out, squats, or jumping jacks. I mean, it was challenging, but the quicker that you are getting your heart rate going, or a gentle walk around your neighborhood, not only is it going to kick your endorphins up, but you are going to feel remind that you have this vehicle that the Buddha talked about that is a path of discovery. It is a miracle that we have bodies. And then finally, I really encourage lots of water. If you don't like water, I mean, we have a lot of options out there. I mean, La Croix has probably skyrocketed with their stocks because so many of us are drinking bubbly, yummy flavored water now. Just make sure that your drinks you're drinking are not high sugar. Um, the more that you're drinking and loading your calories in with your sugar, with your beverages, you kind of don't equate that in your brain to like eating, but it is consuming all that same sugar as if you'd eaten, 3 pieces of apple pie. So these are just some thriving tips. All right, some checkpoints along the way. Morning, morning, morning. Highly, that is one of my favorite things is a morning routine. This does not have to be long. If you have 10 minutes each day, I would encourage you to do 5 to 7 minutes of breathing, slow, steady breathing. If you pray, if you need to finish your breathing and just sit in some silence, or a thing that I really find is that when I have my breath work in the morning, I have a little pen and paper right there, and it's like as soon as you're done with all of your breath work, just jot down any of the ideas that have come to you, and I promise you're going to find some inspiration at different times along the way. I encourage you to do a really brief evening assessment. Contemplate just what it was that you ate, contemplate how you felt overall for the day, contemplate your intentions. If you think about how you want the next day to go, that while you're sleeping, that's making your body and your brain like that affirmation is inside of you. And as you sleep, your subconscious is working on you. Make sure that you've set your alarm for the next morning. You can even tell yourself, okay, my goal was to maintain my weight and to be able to enjoy family tradition treats without overeating them. Tomorrow, I am going to wake up and do 5 minutes of breath work. And then I'm going to make my first life affirming choice by, okay, have a smoothie or have your big cup of tea. Tell yourself that and then go and have a great night's sleep. After each meal or snack, take a moment to check in. It also is really valuable to pick a regular activity, brushing your teeth, walking through your front door, at a stoplight on your way to work, and just think about your intentions. And then if you need accountability partners, let a friend, a family member, a coach know what it is that you're seeking for. And that is your goal. And then just remind yourself, okay, we're getting closer to the new year. How do I want to feel when I wake up on January 1st? You don't have to throw your health out. Bob Feller, a baseball player, said, every day is a new opportunity. You can build on yesterday's success or put its failures behind and start over again. That's the way life is with a new game every day. I firmly believe that we can make literally minute to minute decisions on whether we want our choices to be more life affirming, neutral, or actually life degrading. So if you were to have eaten something that you feel guilty about, affirm that you are healthy, affirm that you can make a new choice and move forward. Move it from a negative to a neutral to a positive. I've loved this quick time with you. I know I haven't wanted to take a ton of your time, but I know I've been speaking quickly through this, but I hope it's been helpful. This is Harvey. I put this picture on because I think it's hilarious. Look at the intensity with which he's staring at that sandwich. I mean, that is like he wants that sandwich. He's going to eat it. He's thinking through the bite right now. He's deciding right now, am I hungry, angry, lonely, tired? I guarantee he just is thinking, I want that sandwich in my mouth. But I want you to be gentle with yourself, create your plan, think about your intentions, love yourself through the season, love your family and your friends through the season. Please feel free to reach out to me, BrittaNelsonWellness.com, or you can email me at brittanelsonwellness@gmail.com. I am offering coaching sessions, 20-minute coaching sessions each week through the holiday season. If that is of interest to you, email me, or you can go onto my website and see my products and register. Hope you've enjoyed this session, and happy holidays to you. All the best.